off the microphone so you can ask your question. And whoever that is, whoever the speaker is that question applies to will then answer your question. So please save your questions to the end. There is a Q&A session, and we will get to as many questions as we can in that time period. If we cannot get to the questions with the people who have raised their hands in that time period, then we would ask that you put your questions in the chat, and we will get those answered for you through the follow-up email with the presentation and a link to the replay of this video. And finally, I want to define collaboration with you all. It enables individuals or entities to work together to achieve a defined and common business purpose. And that purpose, as I stated earlier when in my introduction, is to empower communities to succeed. So with that, I want to bring our first speaker to the stage. This is an entity that we partner with here at the Minority Business Development Division. His name is Michael Bowers. Mike and I have known each other for quite a long time. We've worked together in other areas as well. So it's great to see Mike and be working with him again. Mike is a business advisor and the director for the Ohio Small Business Development Center, which is also known as the SBDC. He's located at Columbus State Community College, and the primary focus of the SBDC is to support prospective and existing entrepreneurs as they seek to start and grow businesses in Central Ohio. Michael holds a bachelor's degree in economics and finance from the University of North Alabama and a master's in public administration from the Ohio State University. He has worked with entrepreneurs for over 30 years, 20 of which have been in Columbus with the SBDC. He has a diverse business skill set with experience in banking, private equity, strategic planning, digital media, and marketing. So, Mike, I'm going to now turn the virtual stage over to you. Thank you for being here.
Sure thing. Thank you, Chandra. I appreciate it. Everything that you and Stacy and the rest of the team are doing here to support small businesses. So again, thanks everybody for jumping on here. I know you got a lot of great information last week. You'll get great information today. And then the next remaining sessions look like they're chock full of great stuff too. So if we can flip to the next slide. So I always like to start out talking about, why is it important that we worry about small businesses? Because I mean, we're all, Intel's coming and, you got the Chases and the big companies and stuff like that. The thing I think is important to really recognize and why you see such a focused effort to support small businesses on the part of the state of Ohio, Franklin County, City of Columbus, Columbus State, all these partners is because, small business really creates this quality of life for all of us. And, you can go to, Walmart, Kroger's, some of the big boxes to shop. And I mean, we all do that. But I mean, where are you going to get this kind of real feel that this product or this service is for you? And it's from small businesses. And I think the other thing that's always important to really acknowledge is that small businesses are owned by your neighbors and your friends and the people you know. And, it makes it a lot more palatable to go in and say, hey, can you help me with this or help me with that? Because you're also helping them. So that's why, small business is so important. Next slide. To give you a sense for the Small Business Development Center at Columbus State. So we are based at Columbus State. We do cover 8 counties, and we need to go back one. So we've been at Columbus State since 2004. We've been in Columbus since 1985. I have not been with them since 1985, but I have been with them since 2004. And we cover 25 counties, and or we cover 8 counties. And just to note, there's 25 SBDCs, I think, in the state of Ohio. So apparently my stuff's moving on its own here. So I just kind of work through, and hopefully I can catch up. So that's what, where we are with the Columbus State Small Business Development Center. And I want to note, because I think sometimes there's a confusion with Small Business Development Center on the next slide is that we are here for startups, and that's all we do. And why we do startups, and we have an extremely robust and developed startup process at our center. You know, we are here to support businesses anywhere from I have an idea and that's it, I don't know what to do with it, to I've been in business for a long time, and folks like yourself who are thinking about getting certified and implementing that certification. So that's what we do. The way we do it is we provide one-on-one business advising. And so you can sit down with our advisors either virtually or in person, one-on-one, talk about your issues, talk about what you need to improve on, and we can go from there. The services we provide, the advising services, those are free of charge. You can go to any of the SBDCs in the state of Ohio or around the country, and you'll know that's going to be free. We also provide a variety of training services, and a lot of these are virtual. You can actually find training from the SBDC, virtual training from the SBDC from centers in Toledo or Cleveland, Cincinnati, that you can access, just through Zoom and different things like that. So, the SBDC is a pretty robust program. Just to give you a sense for some of the results that our program has done. So this is very specific to our program. In the last year, we've helped over 5,000 small businesses. And with their businesses, we help facilitate over $13 million in funding for those businesses. And the key thing with that is we don't have any money of our own. We're not a bank. We're not a lender. What we do is we work in partnership with other partners to help bring funds to the table. I also want to point out, if you go to the next slide, you'll see a photo of the team. I guess we skipped that one. I want you to understand the SBDC, we have 8 people on our team. We have a variety of partners. We work very closely with you to help you develop your idea, your business, and get to where you need to get to. I wanted to reference this program, not that this program's still open, but we did a program with the City of Columbus and Franklin County called the Columbus and Franklin County Small Business Recovery Fund. We were the program manager for that and supported over 5,000 businesses in terms of working to get their applications submitted for this so that they could potentially get funding. And we were able to fund over 1,200 businesses with over $8 million in funding. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see the types of businesses that were funded here. This program, again, I think emphasizes the importance of supporting small businesses, supporting minority-owned businesses, disadvantaged businesses, and women-owned businesses. And as you can see, with this particular program, we funded over 1,000 minority businesses, and we funded over almost 600 women-owned businesses. So I point this out not because this program is open, like I said before, but because this emphasizes the importance of small business, minority business, women-owned businesses to Central Ohio in Ohio. There are some great programs, some great opportunities here, such as Freedom Equity, which I think is on next week, ECDI, and different things like that. The state has some amazing funding programs for minority-owned businesses, and there is an emphasis on supporting these types of businesses here. So if you are in the process of developing your business, or you're develop your business and you're now looking for certification, there is support for you to do that. And that's a lot of the stuff that you're hearing on this session. I also wanted to point out a partial list of some of our partners. I show, the team, we only have 8 people, and, we do our 5,000 businesses last year. If you go to the next slide, you'll see just a partial list of some of the businesses that we deal with. Obviously, the City of Columbus, Franklin County, but we work with the Somali Chamber, we work with the Asian American Commerce Group, we work with Elevate Northland and the Urban Business Development Center. A lot of organizations that bring their skill to support you as a business owner. And on the next slide, I want to emphasize in Central Ohio, and I think this is statewide, but certainly in Central Ohio, we work very closely with the Minority Business Assistance Center at the Columbus Urban League. I think that the MBAC is going to be speaking at a future session, but we work very closely with them. The Minority Business Assistance Center, we share a lot of clients. We work with individuals such as yourself to maybe help get them prepped for certification. The Minority Business Assistance Center will work, with us or in concert to support that preparation, and then really support your filing and your getting your actual certification. And then once you're done, we work closely with these partners and the MBAC to help you implement that certification. So once you get the certification, that's really only the start, and because that's what's going to allow you to actually grow your business and take off from there. So we work really closely. I think the MBAC here in Central Ohio is great. I think they have a great team led by Jesse Mark and the rest of his group. And I encourage you to reach out to them, reach out to us, and we will get you what you need. If you are interested in connecting with the SBDC, if we go to the last slide, you can go to our website. Next slide, please. Go to our website at sbdccolumbus.com, and you'll find different things. You can go in there. We have a variety of tools. We have a great YouTube channel with a bunch of videos. And you can also email us at sbdc@cscc.edu or give us a call at 614-287-5294. So again, I just want to close by saying thank you guys for being here. It's a real tribute that you are here because you are serious about starting and building your business. And we appreciate everything that you're doing. And we are all here to support you because you guys are the ones that are making things happen in Central Ohio. Thank you.
Mike, thank you so much. I miss hearing you present. So I don't get to hear you at many places anymore, but thank you so much. We so appreciate you being here and for being an amazing partner, not only to the MBACs, but us also here at MBDD. Jim Blakely used to sit directly behind me. So our offices, we had an office wall that connected, but now he's right around the corner. So definitely enjoy the partnership that we have with SBDC. Next, I want to bring to the virtual stage Ms. D'Amica Withers. She is the Franklin County Board of Commissioners Chief Economic Equity and Inclusion Officer in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. With 22 years of public service experience, Mrs. Withers has worked with multiple vulnerable populations in the fields of health and human service, criminal justice, leading teams through change, promoting internal and external collaboration for improvement of services through a racial equity lens. D'Amica Withers earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Human Development and Family Studies with an emphasis in case management from Kent State University and a Master of Public Administration degree from Ohio University. D'Amica, we have not met in person yet, but you sound like somebody I should already be acquainted with. So we will make that happen to some degree. Ms. Withers, welcome to the stage, dear.
Absolutely, Chandrita. Thank you so much for that introduction. Thank you, and I'm honored to be here to present with all of you and the hard work that you are doing in our community as a small business owner. You can go to the next slide. As stated in the introduction, in the Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, not only are we working to do what we need to do for internally for diversity, equity, and inclusion. But importantly for this conversation, we support all small emerging businesses in Franklin County, hoping and giving that access and opportunity through our procurement process, through our request for proposals, connecting you with goods and services opportunities with all of our, not just our Board of Commissioner 14 agencies, but other partner elected agencies like the Sheriff's Department, Treasury, treasurer's office, children's services that report budgetarily through our county commissioners. So our small and emerging business program, here are some of the pillars and things that we are working through in this program. And you'll be able to, at the end, have access to our website to dive a little deeper into some of these bullet points. And so not only are we offering opportunity to participate in our county procurement, but we also provide training programs in partnership with MBAC, in partnership with our internal teams, like our purchasing department, to understand how to do business with the county. When an RFP is open, how do we make sure that you understand all the requirements for that bid opportunity? How do we make sure that you understand how to complete all of the paperwork? So our economic equity administrator, in partnership with our purchasing service coordinators, help you through that process. You can go to the next slide.
Mrs. Withers, just really quickly, your face is
Yes.
too beautiful to hide. Can you come off of the camera so we can see you as you present?
Oh, my camera says it's off. Do you see me now?
Yes, I see you now.
Oh, okay. I apologize for
Beautiful.
that. It said
That's
it was
okay.
off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Although we don't do certifications at the county like the city of Columbus does, we accept certifications from the city of Columbus and those listed here. So when you register at a business as a business on our purchasing website, so you are aware of the opportunities that are going through our purchasing department, you want to make sure that you are identifying how you are certified as a business. So we can keep track of that information, send you that information, and these are where the entities that we accept where certifications are from. You can go to the next slide. Just like Michael talked about in partnership with Columbus State, these are just some of the partners that we work with in Franklin County. We talk about at the county that we cannot do anything that we do at the county alone, and we do not. Our commissioners and our county administration and Department of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion definitely honor and is so privileged to work with so many community partners here in Franklin County that's going to help you succeed as a business. I talked about partnering with Minority Business Assistance Center, the City of Columbus Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. We partner with Ohio MBE. So if you're not registered or subscribed to receive the information from Ohio MBE, I encourage you to do so. We put all of our bid opportunities and agencies and who we are partnering with that are putting out bid opportunities through Ohio MBE. We support what Ohio MBE does in supporting minority businesses, working with Columbus Urban League and COAC, and making sure that folks are aware of their opportunities, and we are showing up at events and making sure that Franklin County is aware of opportunities on how to support small and emerging businesses through these partnerships listed here and others. You can go to the next slide. As mentioned, there are 17 county agencies that are internal of Board of Commissioner departments. So there are many opportunities for you to provide your goods and services and the commodity in which you provide in your business. We would love for you to be aware of those opportunities. So please look forward in the near future of procurement fairs, opportunities to learn about how to partner with our county agencies. We also partner with our elected official departments and boards and commissions, like the Adam H board, where we're supporting big projects, where people are reaching in, asking for who is a vendor that can do a particular, provide a particular service. So it's important, if you have not already, please register your business at our purchasing department website, as you see here on this screen, at purchasing.franklincountyohio.gov. So when we are pulling vendor lists for agencies and people who are reaching in, asking what is a particular business, that we have an understanding of what your business offers and how you are certified, so your name and information can be sent to either our internal county agencies or those who we partner with. Our Economic Equity Administrator, Tamika Bumper, she is leading this work. She will be your main point of contact, as well as myself if needed, to talk to you about any challenges that you may be having with your business. How do we connect you with resources? How do you ensure how to know how to do business with the county? And how do we get you up to speed so you can be connected maybe with a prime contractor, a prime vendor, or some other opportunities that we have available here through our Board of Commissioner agencies. We encourage you to seek assistance through the partners that we partner with here in Franklin County that was mentioned on the previous slide. Definitely connecting with the Minority Business Assistance Center, Columbus State, as mentioned previously, ensuring that you have the right resources for you to succeed. You can go to the next slide. We do have a pre-bid information session coming up this Friday. As mentioned, we are working with Adam H., who are building their mental health crisis center. So this next opportunity that is coming up in late February, early March, will be our largest opportunity for small emerging businesses to be involved in the construction and building of the Franklin County Mental Health Addiction Crisis Center. So the bid package are available here as you see on this slide, and I definitely can provide this so you all can receive this information. But if you have the opportunity to come out on Friday, January 27th from 9 to 10 a.m. to the Mental Health Adam H. Crisis Center outreach, so you can learn about the bid packages and requirements to participate in the upcoming opportunities that are listed here. You do need to register with Elford. Elford Construction Company is the construction lead on this project, and who we are working with, and that information is listed here on this screen. We really want to make sure we have small emerging businesses a part of this partnership, not just with vendors, but able to offer workforce assistance once we get to the areas where we're providing supplier services for the operations of the crisis center. We will be involved intricately as we move forward with this process. So please, if you have not registered as a vendor on our website, so you are aware of the information that is coming up for the crisis center, and if you are able, attend the outreach meeting here on Friday that will be held at Elford. You can go to the next slide. Again, Tamika Bumper is the Economic Equity Administrator that is a part of the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, who leads out on all of our small and emerging businesses efforts, and in partnership with our purchasing team and other county agencies. Her email and phone number is listed here, as well as my email and phone number. And please visit our website so you can learn more about our economic equity goals this year and be a part of the amazing process in supporting you for your success. Thank you so much for your time.
Jamika, thank you so much. I'm sitting over here grinning. I was taking pictures of your slides, the procurement opportunity for one, and then all of your partners, or some of the partners that you partnered with for two. So I hope you guys really are taking notes or taking pictures, even though you will get a replay and a copy of these slides. I couldn't wait. So I jumped ahead and started taking pictures with my cell phone. And I hope that with the last two slides, thank you so much, Tamika, just a wealth of information. With the last two presenters, that you've really understood that we're trying to introduce an ecosystem, to you all, because nobody is all encompassing. Some people do some things very well, while others may do other things very well. And not only their skill set or ability, it's about chemistry as well. You may jive, for lack of a better term, with one organization or one employee at this organization better than you do. It's just personality. That you may like this person's personality a little bit more than this person, or this person understands you a little bit more than that person at these different organizations, but become a part of the ecosystem. So kudos to you all who are here. Thank you for being in the room, because this is where the information is passed down at. And if you don't come into the room, you miss out, or you receive diluted or incorrect information. But here you're hearing it directly from the people who are administering these and administrating these programs. So we're trying to plug you in to an ecosystem where not only you know where to go, but the people there know who you are. They begin to know who you are. And that's what's important, not who you know, but who knows you. And with that being said, I love to say this man's name. His name is James Yagadich, and he is the training manager for the state of Ohio's Office of Procurement Services Training Academy. This is my dude right here. So I'm so excited that James is with us today, and he's going to walk you through some procurement information. So James, welcome to the virtual stage, and I will turn it over to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me once again. I do appreciate these opportunities to get out in front of the audiences that we do have. We share, like you said, in the ecosystem. I think, and I'll just throw this out there. I love all your sayings. I'm always trying to write those down. So we may have to circle back and I have to write those down more completely instead of what my chicken scratch is here. But yes, I'm from the Office of Procurement Services here at the state of Ohio. Just a little bit about me and our group. We're part of an agency that's committed to providing the quality, centralized services, specialized support, innovative solutions for all our state agencies, boards, and commissions, as well as your local governments and state universities. With 40 program areas that our agency serves through Ohio government customers like yourselves. But within our particular Office of Procurement Services, we are the centralized procurement group that purchases and procures goods and services for a wide variety of services, ranging from IT, printing, mail sort, office supplies, and as well as personal services. But just a little background about us and kind of where that comes from. Am I advancing the slides or do I need to? Okay, perfect. So Ohio buys. Just an intro about that. Yes.
Excuse me for 1 second. When you're ready to go to the next slide, just say next slide and we'll control the slides for you.
Okay.
Okay,
Awesome.
great.
Again, what we're here to talk about a little bit today is Ohio buys. Kind of a little precursor to that, like I mentioned, is part of the DAS. It's part of the state of Ohio's procurement group. Next slide, please. What is Ohio buys? It kind of leads into that. What exactly is that? What is it? What does it do for me? What is the purpose of that? I'm sorry here. Ohio Buys is an online purchasing solution that does empower all of our government buyers, people that are purchasing, creating bids, and as well as the interested suppliers and or bidders. The purpose of this new system to improve our online purchasing program was process improvement, to create an efficiency of that, reducing redundancies, providing new technology that could help increase the robustness of a process without having to have those older processes in place, but also streamline that solicitation, otherwise known as opportunities or bids, creating and being able to publish those electronically without having an actual maybe a paper board or maybe there's online, but the whole process is being included in this. So it's a great opportunity for that. And as well as reporting with the transparency world. And the state of Ohio is big on transparency. We're trying to make sure everything that is available, whether it's an open contract, a current contract, expired contract, current solicitations, that you have visibility to those as any state of Ohio citizen or anyone across the United States that's looking to do business with the state of Ohio. Next slide, please. The focus of the solution is really kind of a supplier-based solution. What is bringing to the forefront is accurate contact information. We're able to get profiles. We're able to get addresses properly, email addresses, the people within your business that are the contacts that are managing those commodity-based events. Also, giving quick responses ability within the quick quoting process. With daily and weekly purchases the state is making, being able to see those without having to being notified of those as well through automated notifications. In addition, working, I know nowadays with all of the logistic issues, being able to have advanced shipping notifications, managing returns is a more effective tool within this for you. Also catalogs. As you provide certain level of goods and services, you're able to manage the catalog. You can provide all your, I guess if you think about Granger, for instance, they have lots of items. They would not just have one particular line item, they would have thousands upon thousands of catalog items to choose from. So this new system helps you manage that, and as well as helps you collaborate with the state on exceptions. Sometimes where we are trying to help suppliers as they get contracts and bid opportunities, we're able to create improvement plans to help you be successful in that contract experience. And also in addition, uploading a catalog that doesn't necessarily associate with the state contract, giving you an opportunity to be able to be visible on that level for the state and for other agencies across the state as well. So again, a large focus of the supplier process, because it is critical to our success, is having you have the right tools to be able to do business with the state. Next slide, please. So using Ohio Buys, what kind of things you can look to see? Like I mentioned, you can manage a supplier profile, which you can manage all of your new contacts. You can remove old contacts. We run into a lot of companies who have turnover and notifications are going to old staff that are no longer there. You're able to get in there and actively manage it with a few clicks. You're able to actively respond to those solicitations and be in there and be able to submit your bids without having to come to our west side location here in Columbus and submitting a bid for whatever it may be. In person, in paper, able to do that electronically is one of the bigger benefits. Also, again, the contract purpose, it does have a lot of opportunities with hosted and even punch out catalogs. If your business has a large variety and potentially on the contract that's awarded on those items that can be provided. Next slide, please. So procurement services, Procure.Ohio.Gov is a website, and I will get this to the end. I have a list of websites and links that are definitely can assist you in your search of procurement opportunities within the state of Ohio. But this is the starting point. Procurement services has a host of information, whether it's bidder, supplier. We do put the transparency of the information for the agencies because we want everyone to know how the process works so that you can understand that and know how that benefits you or where you can come into that part of the process. Next slide, please. Accessing Ohio Buys. A couple main ways looking at this. Anybody can access Ohio Buys and review current solicitations and look at those opportunities, but you have to be registered with the proper registration to be able to actually place your bid. So for everyone in your business, if you're interested in being a part of that, you would have to create an OHID, which definitely has a benefit. There's a lot of other Ohio systems that are basing our OHID platform. But each person in your business that would be working within Ohio Buys would have to register and get their own and then associate the business to them. It's a quick, easy step to do that. Or if you're a bidder, you can do a kind of like we call a soft registration, just to get information in to place a bid, to be able to have an opportunity. But if you would win a contract or get awarded any type of proposal, you would then have to go through the full supplier process, which now is called Ohio Pays, and be a payee. And then also to be able to do that, then account management being a part of the process for accessing Ohio Buys. Next slide, please. So again, in order to access Ohio Buys, every bidder and supplier must have their own OHID, since it is a secure single sign-on that serves multiple purposes. So making sure as you look at your business plan and getting involved in Ohio, we do have lots of training materials. We have active webinars that help walk through this process and assist that, as well as a support desk. The link here in the bottom of the slide definitely shows a quick access point to that. So if you were to click on this link, next slide, please. That would land you on the actual portal page of Ohio Buys. Now, this I've highlighted, you can access Ohio Buys as a bidder or an existing supplier. And then if you are currently needing to associate your necessary business profile as a supplier, or if you're going to become a bidder, it would go through that soft registration process, which is basically like any website we get to today, right? Whether you have to basic username and email, set up some basic, rescue questions, and then some terms and conditions, being able to use the state of Ohio's Ohio Buys. So once you've got that established, next slide, you're able to come back to the Procure.Ohio.Gov website. And then if you were looking for opportunities, inside the middle screen here, we do post, with these slides have moved around recently. We try to put the most common things that our traffic is seeing. We recently had, I think last June, July, we had a new look to this page, and we're able to see trend foot traffic that's coming across here, whether it's high or low in certain areas, and we're seeing a lot of foot traffic coming through these key general procurement areas. So we're putting those up on the front page so it's easily and quickly accessible from there. So if you were to be interested in registering, getting accessing a bid opportunity, you can just use this front square here, the public solicitations and contracts. Next slide, please. Which would, again, take you back to here. So what you see on these two pages, whether it's Procure.Ohio.Gov or the Ohio Buys site, they're both going back and forth. So you can be on one on the next right away without any problems, but it just gives you that ability to get to where you need to go once you're ready to take the next step. So what you can do, if you're saving this in your favorites, which we highly recommend for the Ohio Buys portal, is what you can do is have this saved, click on that when you will look at public solicitations that you're not being notified for, you're just interested. You can click the public solicitations as it is here, and what'll result is in this next slide is a display of all the public solicitations that are available. It's important to know that everything that's currently available is posted. Whether it's an MBE set aside, as you can see here on the bottom of the slide, this is an older screenshot, but any activity that does come up that has MBE set aside, because each agency is required to spend 15% of their yearly expenditures on MBE is our goal. So there are contracts and activities that are set aside for those specific MBE set asides. But other additional open public events are listed as well. And our filters definitely give you a robust opportunity to search through all of that. And I think the best way to explain it is we use a large net and bring everything back instead of a small net and maybe where you have to go and do a lot of extra work. This brings it all to you. You can filter on keywords, commodities. You can focus on just an agency that you know that you want to work with and see if they have any opportunities. You can focus on MB set aside here. So this is really a great tool to really filter out a lot of opportunities that kind of makes more sense to your specific products and services that you offer. Next slide, please. But once you open up that actual solicitation, what you're able to see now with Ohio Buys is a clear and begin and end date, inquiry dates where you may be able to ask questions that maybe the description is not quite as clear as you would hoped, or we would hope, and that would give you an opportunity to ask questions. Those questions at the very bottom of the slide are tracked. Those are answered by our procurement services team, and they go through and review those and make sure that the questions you're asking, everyone else can have the information as well, because that benefits everybody. Because if there's clarity and we can provide that if applicable, that way we get the right bids and you have the right information to make the best bid for your bottom line for your business. But also we have supporting documentation. There may be, for a request to purchase a larger implementation, we may have contract document information. We may have other requests, other documents that are required. So all of that on one page is provided to you, and anybody can see this, whether you're logged in as your current state of Ohio citizen, taxpayer type of view, or if you're in your business and you're logged in, everyone can see the same page here, and that gives you the opportunity to make that determination to see if you're looking to bid. And it's a quick, easy process to bid. Once you're registered, you have to log in. hence that's the reason why we go down the path of that basic registration. So you can come in, put your bids, and then during the bid review process, there'll be determined whether or not that bid would be accepted for a contract. Next slide, please. Additional resources. Next slide. What these are information. I think everyone in this group falls into the bidder supplier role because of our audience here. But if there's other questions as you start to get interested in Ohio Buys, I'm going to go over the website, but there's specific support desk functionality that we have set up to help support that. You can talk to a live person, opportunity to actually have someone have some dialogue with you, to be able to ask questions and work through this if you're running into a trouble with registration, or maybe your business isn't showing or displaying the right commodity codes. We're able to assist. We're able to walk through that. My team actively does that Monday through Friday, all business hours of the day. We're assisting end users like yourself looking to be able to use Ohio Buys to its best for them and their business. Next slide. Now, this next set of I can't speak today, self-service links is some of the stuff that's on the Procure.Ohio.Gov website. But I kind of pulled it off, and these are some key areas we see a lot of inquiry into. On the left here, you've got selling to the state. There's some basic additional information. If once you want to become a supplier, you need to become a supplier. If you get awarded a contract, some of the additional Ohio Business Gateway activities and so forth that kind of help get mapped out. Some direct links to some supplier FAQs, some of the things you may go through. There's access and links to the Ohio Pays portal. It used to be this Ohio Supplier Portal, but recently has been rebranded as Ohio Pays. That information exists there. And I added some additional information on the bottom that would be for maybe state printing and mail service inquiries that are available, as well as the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission and the Department of Transportation. They do have separate processes outside of this for contract listing and opportunities, but just as an FYI. Next slide, please. And this is our supplier webinars. I know this is a great opportunity for you guys to get a lot of information, but once you make that step and start looking into Ohio Buys and you want to get registered, you want to just understand how solicitations work. We offer monthly webinars that you can easily just join. You can download the meeting invite. You can just save the link, and all these, and I believe in the PowerPoint that gets sent out, all the links should be live and active. They're able to be accessible from that, and you can just click and join that. It's a quick and easy process that my team reviews how to get registered, all the key aspects of navigating the system for your first time, but then also we cover on how to respond to solicitations and going through that basic fundamental of you putting your bids, putting all the attachments and all the tips and tricks that go along with that. So at least you complete the application for your bid. That way, at least it makes it to the next step of the review process. And then your pricing and your bidding will come down to that review. And it's kind of, at least getting there is the key point. And then we also have a revenue share reporting. There are sometimes contracts that we have that fall into the a revenue share process, but it's more of a contractual agreement within that specific contract that you may or may be involved in, but that's just, again, it's available. We do run these once a month, and these have been going on. As you can see, webinar 114, we've been doing these quite a few years. So we have lots of good attendees. I'd say an average about 30 people. So once a month. So there's a good turnout. So you get a lot of other questions other suppliers are asking to help you understand, as well as we do point you to all the training resources and all the additional support activities that help you assimilate better into Ohio Buys and be more successful. And I think the next slide is yep.
James, thank you so very much. I do want to acknowledge that I see your hands of the people, the attendees who have questions. At the end, there is a Q&A session, and at that time, I will bring you to the stage so you can ask your question of our presenters, and they will direct their answers towards you. So I didn't want you to go unacknowledged. I see you, but we're going to reserve your questions for the Q&A session.
Excellent.
James, thank you so very much. That was such a wealth of knowledge and information. I was over here scribbling down notes, myself, again, taking screenshots or actually on my cell phone, taking pictures of some of the slides that you posted. And I'm so glad that you touched on the 15% set aside, for MBEs. That is crucial, for your understanding. So not only do they have their next 3 months of, um, trainings coming up or information, but James has also agreed, and Stacy Cornett, who is our deputy chief of, our certification team here, her and I are planning along with James to carve out some time for James to spend about 90 minutes with our MBE certified businesses or anybody who's considering being MBE certified that may not be, which is Minority Business Enterprise Certified. I hate using acronyms. But he is going to actually demo from beginning to end, registering on the site, all the way to bidding on a procurement opportunity, so that you really get a full understanding of how critical it is to be to make Ohio Buys and Procure Ohio your best friends if you are a goods and services provider in the state of Ohio and you are MBE certified. So we want to make sure that 15% is the floor. It's not the ceiling. As our chief says here, she's like, that 15% is the absolute floor. Even though that's the goal, that's the floor. That's not the ceiling. That's not what we're aspiring to. We are aspiring to definitely at least even the playing field in the amount of opportunities that minority business owners are able to procure. Because as she also says, the state buys everything, but they don't buy everything from everyone. And so you want to make sure that you are in the best position to be able to take advantage of those procurement opportunities, because some of those contracts are life-changing opportunities. Some of those roll over into other opportunities as well. And so you just want to be prepared for that. So thanks again, James. We appreciate
Thank
you
you.
so much. And Stacy and I will be in touch with dates and times and everything for our collaboration together. So next, I want to bring another one of my buddies to the stage. His name is Joseph Scott. You call him Joseph or Mr. Scott. I call him Joey. And Joey is the statewide manager of the Ohio Procurement Technical Assistance Center, which is also known as PTAC. I know that it recently went through rebranding, so I'm sure he will tell you the new name of it. But in his role, Joey leads the Ohio PTAC program and works closely with regional PTAC offices, which are hosted by development partners. He previously was the director of Youngstown State University's PTAC, which is hosted by the Williamson College of Business Administration. Joy also graduated from YSU, Youngstown State University, with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration in Accounting and a Master of Business Administration. He maintains a Certified Global Business Professional certification with the National Association of Small Business International Trade Educators. So Joey, thank you for being here, and I'm going to turn the virtual stage over to you.
Thank you so much, Chandrita. Pleasure to be here. So, and you've already heard from some really great speakers so far. I'll try to keep you engaged just as much, but before I dive into my presentation, just want to highlight how important, if you get a chance to take a look at the demo that Chandrita and Stacy and James are going to put together, definitely encourage it, because those demos are always very educational and very worthwhile. So with that little promo for them aside, and they did not ask me to say that. It's just I'm speaking from experience here. So I am Joey Scott. I am the statewide director for our PTAC centers. Next slide, please. As Chandrita mentioned, we are going through a name change here. I'll save that for the end, because it's a struggle for me to even start implementing that name change, because I'm so used to saying PTAC. So I'm just going to stick with that trend and say PTAC for this entire presentation. So what is a PTAC? We are your one-stop shop for government contracting assistance. And we exist to help businesses, all businesses, with federal, state, and local government contracting. So we were created from a nationwide perspective. We were created back in the 1980s by the Department of Defense and Congress for that sole purpose, to help U.S. businesses, sell to the government. Because, as Chandrita mentioned, state of Ohio buys everything. All government, in the United States buys just about anything as long as they have a need. And so they try to buy from small businesses as much as they can as well. And there's those different goals, even at the federal level. So what does PTAC do? We help businesses become procurement ready so that you can sell to the government. We help you experience procurement success, meaning helping you stay in that procurement marketplace. And then even one step further, once you are successful in there, we help you stay in there from a compliance standpoint and just keeping you up to date on all of the evolving requirements, because the world of government contracting, no matter what level you're at, it's ever changing. Next slide, please. So those are kind of the three buckets that I place our services in. So I'll talk through each of them and what they all entail. And PTAC services, just as an aside, because we're funded, here in Ohio, we're funded, by Department of Defense, by State of Ohio, and our local partners. Everything we do is no cost. And I point that out because there's a little nuance in the world of government contracting that I'll touch on in a second here. So what does being procurement ready mean? Well, it means helping companies position themselves for success. And that's kind of all encompassing. From companies who may be starting out in government contracting, we help you identify and walk through registrations. So if you want to sell to a federal agency, you have to be registered in what's called the System for Award Management, or SAM. And so we can walk you through that process. If you want to sell to the state of Ohio, you want to be registered as a supplier and register in Ohio buys and all that stuff. We can assist you with that. As can the MBACs. They can assist you with a lot of that too. So we also look at business certifications, helping you identify, what certifications are you eligible for, and how can you apply for those. So you heard mention, the MBE and EDGE and all of that. State of Ohio has their business certifications. Federal government has their certifications. And as of January 1st of this year, the Small Business Administration, or the SBA, they oversee all federal business certifications. So that is woman-owned small business, economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business, veteran-owned and service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. Also, they have a 8A program, a few other ones. I won't name them all, but the point is, if you do go after any of these business certifications, they are free. Registering to sell to government is free. I stress that because as you dive into the world of government contracting, there's a lot of ads out there for you pay a company, hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, and they'll help you, they'll bring you the moon essentially, and that's not true. A lot of these registrations and certifications are free. So just keep that in mind. If you've come across something that says, oh, I have to pay a couple $100, talk with a PTAC counselor or, your SBDC, whoever, talk with them first, see if it's actually true. So I'll get off my soapbox from there. I just like to stress the free, aspects of government contracting. So getting back to our PTAC services, help you get set up also means helping you develop a capability statement. So a capability statement is kind of like a one-page resume of your company, just how you or I would have a resume to promote ourselves. Your capability statement promotes your company, and it highlights your core competencies, the products or services that you sell, your differentiators, what is your competitive advantage, what sets you apart from your competitors. It also lists, basic contact information, small business certifications, things like that. But it also lists, and this is the most important part, your past performance. So a few successes that you've had in the government world. If you don't have any government success, you list commercial success. And then you evolve your capability statement and tailor it as you get more success under your belt. So we can also help you look at agency buying habits and history. We have a lot of tools that we have access to that may be too costly for a small business to access. We can run those reports and help you look at what agencies are buying what products and services, help you identify the contract officers to talk to, and help you develop a strategy to really promote yourself. So that's some of the basic services. We also help you connect with those buyers through networking events like a business matchmaker. We work, every year in Ohio. We have the Ohio Business Matchmaker. This year it's going to be in May sometime, so watch out for a save the date eventually from there. But that's a great way to have one-on-one meetings with government buyers from federal, state, and local levels. And a matchmaker is kind of like a business speed dating type thing if you're not familiar with them, where you get 10 minutes to pitch your capabilities. In PTAC, we also have a bid search program that is free to our clients. Basically, it takes a Google keyword search, of your products, services, whatever else, and it scans all the procurement databases where the opportunities would be posted, consolidates it, and sends it to you in an email. So instead of you spending tens of hours looking for government contract opportunities, each day you get a email saying, here's 5 results or here's 50 results based on a keyword search. Next slide, please. So that is our helping you get set up for government contracting. What do we do to help you and support you as you are already in the government landscape? Well, we can help you review a solicitation or an opportunity once you found it. Make sure that you understand it. We can talk through a strategy for asking those questions during the question and answer period. We can also review your proposal, your response to that opportunity. Make sure that you are addressing all of the right criteria, addressing the scope of work, just making sure that you have a very responsive and responsible proposal. We don't do anything on your behalf. We are not an agent of your company. We cannot write a proposal for you, but we can review it with you. So I just like to stress that as well. We can also help you review and understand the contract clauses, because a lot of the contract clauses, they are government speak or legal speak, however you want to say it. They can be confusing. We help you understand what it means and make sure that you're compliant with some of them, especially when it comes to invoicing requirements. And we could talk through strategy of leveraging your past performance. How do you take one success and multiply it into more successes? Next slide, please. All right, so our third bucket here, staying in procurement. So this is kind of my catch-all, helping you maintain compliance just through keeping up on registration requirements and other, ever evolving and changing government regulations. So if you're in the federal space, your SAM registration, that's an annual renewal. People don't always realize that. So, we can help with that. Also, if you're in the defense space, DoD contractors are required to comply with cybersecurity. And that could be a whole other speech in itself, but we can help you work through that. And we're developing some resources to assist companies with the cybersecurity compliance as well. We can do a lot more. I focus on the federal aspect because it's a little easier to mention, but keep in mind too, we're here to assist at all levels, federal, state, and local. So some things too to keep in mind, a lot of you may already be government contractors and not realize that. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of clients that I've helped, they'll say, I've never touched government contracting before. And as we talk through it, they come to say, oh, well, I sold to the city, a couple times, or I sold to the county, or I sold to our local state university. Those are all government past performance. People don't always realize because it's right in their backyard. Everyone thinks of government contracting as the federal government, but it is not. It is federal, state, and local. So talk through that to say, we'll help you, identify other government customers at all levels to see who is buying what you sell and how can you approach them. And then also innovation. The government loves innovation. They just can't always do it themselves. So they fund small business to do innovation for them. through programs called the Small Business Innovation Research and Small Business Tech Transfer Research. So these programs are solely set aside for small business. Basically, if you have a technology or some idea that fits a government need, you can apply for funding through different phases and work through that and develop your product that you would then eventually, and this is the ultimate goal of those programs, sell to the government. But you'd also have commercial opportunities sold as well. So it was a little bit more all-encompassing. Next slide, please. So this is just kind of our brag slide that I put in there just to highlight a couple things. These are PTAC clients last year that we assisted. And our clients, I'm very proud of our clients all the time. They won $1.2 billion. Right, $1.2 billion in government contracting were awarded to Ohio small businesses. And most of that money came from federal contracts, meaning that Ohio business bid on a defense contract or Department of Energy, whatever, and they won it and they administered it. But we also have state and local as well. Just want to highlight that because not everyone realizes how much federal activity is here in Ohio either. Next slide, please. So this is kind of our road to success. Just a graphic here to highlight how PTAC can assist you, from starting out and developing your pitch and your marketing strategy, identifying opportunities, helping you submit that proposal, and on the post-award side of things, helping you navigate your contract requirements, even helping you invoice. If you have a DoD contract or state of Ohio, whatever it may be, we can talk through that and assist you as needed too. So, and we have a lot of events. Throughout the years, we collaborate and speak in events like this, but we also host our own trainings on different procurement topics that are relevant, in the government space. And that's our national organization, APTAC. In case we do have any people from outside of Ohio, there's a PTAC in just about every state and some territories throughout the United States. Next slide, please. So this is a map, shows our coverage area from a statewide program perspective. We have PTACs that cover every county in Ohio. So if you are not familiar with your local PTAC, please reach out to myself or go to our website here at Development, and we'll get you taken care of. Next slide, please. So, okay, so I'm going to fingers crossed here that this video works. I'll explain it. It's just a short, like 10-second video. So if you could please click there in the middle and start the video. Perfect. Thank you so much. So this video is just a very short and brief way to highlight the transition that we are undergoing. Through PTAC, we're changing our name, and I'll keep this short because really the only thing that's changing is the name. Everything that I just talked about from a service perspective, it is staying the same. We're still going to be doing our jobs to help companies at all levels of government contracting, but instead of PTAC, we'll be called Apex Accelerator. All right, and this is a result of a change in our national leadership, and we'll be empowered to do more. So all those great services that I talked about before, we'll keep doing those, and we'll keep assisting you. But we'll be rolling in some new and unique services as well to provide even more assistance to Ohio businesses in terms of government contracting. So next slide, please. And that is it from me. So thank you so much, Chandrita, for allowing me to speak here briefly today.
Listen, Joey, you did a phenomenal job. Thank you for always. You are so consistent and you always show up when we ask. You make a way. We know that you're extremely busy, but we thank you for being generous with your time to us. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 10 minutes that we can facilitate questions. I do see 3 hands up in the chat, so please ask your questions. Our gracious speakers, if the question is applicable to you, just come off the mic and answer our guests, please and thank you. So I see the hand of Rochelle Tinsley. Feel free to come off your mic and ask your question. Rochelle going once, going twice.
It's not her. We have to release their microphones. So we're
Oh,
working
I'm
on
so
doing that.
sorry.
Not a problem. One second.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Chandrita, she should be able to speak. Their microphones are released.
Okay, Rochelle, it looks like you should be able to unmute yourself and ask your question, dear.
Hi, thank you. I wanted to circle back to the pre-bid webinar for the Franklin County Mental Health Center. I received an email for the webinar for the construction side, but I was wondering if there would be an opportunity to bid on the administrative side.
Hi, Rochelle, it's D'Amica. It will be, but that has not been open yet for that bid as of yet. So if you are receiving the information for the in-person outreach that we're having on Friday, then you should receive when those bids will open. If not, you can send myself or Tamika Bumper an email to get that information to ensure that you will receive it, and also registering on our purchasing website or contacting with Ohio MBE to be aware when those bids do become available.
Okay, great, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, I was on mute myself. Kay Sharp, welcome back. 2 weeks in a row. Feel free to come off your microphone and ask your question, dear.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining, and also thank you for having me. This is a very vital group. I'm excited, but I just want to know: am I the only one who didn't see the screen share from like the first couple of people that had came on?
I'm sorry, Kay Sharp. Those first slides were on a timer. And so you may have missed a couple, but as always, we're going to send you the recording and we're going to send you the entire PowerPoint presentation. So whatever you did miss, you'll receive that in your email.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thanks again, dear.
Bye-bye.
Bye. The next hand I see is Miss Tanika Crawford. Feel free to come off your microphone and ask your question, dear.
Okay, and I won't waste time. You guys know this information is, life-changing. We all appreciate it. I wanted to ask Chandrita, what do I need to do to get locked in for the meeting and training we're going to set up with James, the demo?
Yes, so all of the attendees of this meeting or these series, and then also all of our certified businesses, there will be an email that goes out to all of you guys, inviting you or informing you with the registration link when that goes live.
Okay, and how can I verify the email that you guys have on file? Should I reach out to one of you guys individually?
But yes, if you put your email in the chat.
The chat's closed for this. Yeah, the chat's turned off for this meeting.
Okay.
If you give me an email, I'll shoot it through.
Chandrita, this is Stacy. The chat is gonna be enabled right now.
Okay. They're
Thank
going to
you.
enable the chat, Tanika, so you can stick your email in there, and then we'll make sure that you that's the correct email. Well, we'll have the correct email when you add it to the chat.
Awesome. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. The next hand I see is Miss Ebony Johnson. Feel free to come off your mic and ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question was about the email of the recording. I wasn't sure if I missed it, but I didn't get the one last week. So I was wondering, is it a specific time we get it, or is there a specific email I should be looking for it from? I'm not sure.
Stacy, do you want to
Ms.
respond to that?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yes, Ms. Johnson, we have sent all of the information up to our communications team, and they have decided that once we finish up the 5th session, everyone will receive all of the sessions with all of the PowerPoints and any additional information. They're going to wait until all of the sessions are completed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for your question, Ebony. Thank you, Stacy. The next hand I see is Lindsay. Feel free to come off your mic and ask your question, dear. P.S.
Hi,
the
can you
chat
hear
is
me?
now open. I'm sorry, Lindsay. The chat is now open. So for those who need to add their emails, feel free again to put that into the chat. I'm sorry, Lindsay. Go ahead, dear.
That's okay. Can you hear me? Okay. So I've done a couple Ohio buys where I bid on, try to get a bid. And I'm wondering, I'm a woman-owned, I'm certified woman-owned, and I'm wondering how often are they set aside for woman-owned or minority-owned compared to just regular bidding?
Hi, Lindsay. Quick question to that, a quick answer to that, I should say, is that right now there are no specific set-asides for women-owned businesses. There are preferences that can be applied to that, but the MBE is the only type of solicitation that's set aside at this time. But I know there's efforts legislation-wise that they're talking, working this through. But right now there isn't
Okay.
anything specific to that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Lindsay. And the next hand I see is Miss Kimberly Johnson. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good afternoon. Thank you. So I did join a seminar that was being held yesterday, and I'm happy to hear that the week before is going to be recorded. I have been certified and applied for the microloan. I've submitted a microloan application, or I thought that I submitted everything they needed. I got an email in response saying that they saw that I submitted an application, but still need me to submit an application. It was kind of a confusing email, and they left an email address for me to respond to if I had questions. I have responded to that email more than once and no one's gotten back to me. I just want to make sure that there's no windows that I'm missing as far as like response time, and I don't want to start the process again.
I can look into that for you, Kimberly. If you put your business name and email address in the chat, I'll pull that out. I would also suggest you check your spam if you haven't already, because sometimes our emails, because they're government, it's probably not a typical email that you would receive, may go to your spam email. But put your information in the chat for me and I'll get back to you before close of business today.
So really quickly, as a retailer, I just was interested in like what circumstances that would normally allow us that the state would need a retailer in a situation to be bonded or for a contract in some type of way. If anyone be able to answer, like if there's a specific example with like, because I have like a small neighborhood mobile grocery store or bodega. So under the, I did do my NCAIS. My codes, I entered those codes so that I can make myself available. I just would like to know if anyone knew an example of when stores like that were, had contract opportunities.
James, is that something that Monica? I'm sorry, Chief Womack.
No, not a problem. Again, good afternoon, everyone. And so from that perspective, that is not something that would typically, at least from a purchasing perspective, be utilized. There may be products that you may have that, not from a contracting perspective, that may be just purchased and be able to use that from a procurement perspective or just a purchasing perspective. But the advantage to being certified that you have is you now have access to the resources that we have within our division. And so what resources are available to you? I believe it's next week you will hear about the funding opportunities that we have available to either state certified as a minority business enterprise or your state certified as a woman-owned business enterprise that would allow you to expand your company between 0 and 1.5% interest.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Those are the things that I have applied for. Yes, so I look forward to next week to get more clarity, and Chandrita, your call to help me through that process. I appreciate it. Thank you.
My
You're
pleasure,
welcome.
dear. Thank you, Chief Womack. Y'all call her Chief Womack, I call her Boss Lady, so I always trip up and have to correct myself. So we have went over 1 minute. Our session was done at 1:15. I like to be prompt and punctual because I know that you guys are business owners and you have to get back to the money. So a final thank you again to each and every one of our speakers. Thank you so much. You pour so much into this group today, and to us who are your state partners as well. And so information changes all of the time. And so we just want to stay on top of it and make sure that we're giving real-time relevant information to the constituents in the state of Ohio, these business owners. And so thank you all. We will see you here next week. Same bat channel, same bat time, where I will be one of the presenters. We're going to be talking about empowering communities to succeed through access to capital. They nicknamed me the money lady here. And so we're going to have some other organizations here as well that are providing funding for people across the state of Ohio. So please tune in. And if you can, invite a friend as well. So we will see you here next week. Again, thank you all so much for your attendance, participants and attendees. Thank you to the people behind the wheels, Mike Lester, Stacy Cornett, providing the technical support. And if there are no final questions to put in the chat, we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much.